Ni hao, Group T is here to discuss the vocal music of China because many of us wondering what China really has when it comes to music like their vocal music, so we're going to start discussing it. Make sure you listen and understand it because at the end we're going to have a quiz.
What exactly is the content of our presentation? To find out, let's look at the table of contents. First topic is China, and second, vocal music. Next is vocal music of China, types of Chinese vocal music, musical element, Chinese music and tonal system, Chinese scale, Hiayu, and lastly is the Moliwa. First is China. China, officially known as the People's Republic of China, is a country located in East Asia. The modern word China is most likely derived from the name of the Qin dynasty.
It is the world's most populous country. The people of China call their nation Chunghua, and its capital is Beijing.
Now, let's move on to the vocal music. What exactly is vocal music? Vocal music, page 45. Vocal music is music that uses and emphasizes the human voice. Sometimes instruments are used, but the voice is the most important part. Vocal music is the opposite of instrument music, which uses any combination of instruments such as string, woodwinds, brass, or percussion, usually without the human voice.
Vocal music typically features sung words called lyrics. Although there are notable examples of vocal music that are performed using non-linguistic syllables, sounds, or noise, sometimes as musical onomatopoeia, such as jazz, scat singing, a short piece of vocal music with lyrics is broadly termed a song. Although in different styles of music, it may be called an aria or hymn.
Now that we know what vocal music is, let's find out what Chinese vocal music.
Chinese vocal music has traditionally been sung in a thin, non-resonant voice or in falsetto, and is usually solo rather than choral. All traditional Chinese music is melodic rather than harmonic. Chinese vocal music probably developed from sung poems and verses with music.
Chinese vocal music has complex tonal inflection and is influenced by the Chinese language. Its timbre has a profound intent than simply tone to color as an end.
Chinese music can be distinguished either northern or southern style. In Peking opera, northern style and tone tends to be a high-pitched, dynamic, and energetic compared to Kun opera, southern style which is genial, softer, lyrical, and graceful.
It dates back to the dawn of Chinese civilization with documents and artifacts providing evidence of a well-developed musical culture as early as the Chu dynasty, 1122 BC to 256 BC. It is based on the doctrines and beliefs of some of the well-known Chinese philosophers. For several thousand years, Chinese culture has been dominated by the teachings of the philosophers Confucius, who conceived music in the highest sense as a means of calming the passions and of dispelling unrest and lust rather than as a form of amusement. There is an ancient Chinese belief that music is meant not to amuse but to purify one's thought.
Because of that, let's find out what type of vocal music they have.
Religious: A. Buddhist or temple music, Sanskrit, chanting music covering verse, hymns and liturgies, Taoist, regional folk music and used in ceremonial rituals. Shaolin: it is the vocal art song of the 12th to 13th century. It is based on the poetry of Q. It is performed with a wooden clapper.
Zogongdiao. It is a type of narrative song about a romantic legend accompanied by the drums.
Folk music. It is a mountain song on tropic form using fever refrains. It has 2 or 4 phrases with the same length, and each phrase has a different musical thought. It describes the lives of most Chinese people. An example of this music is Sangje.
Also, China have 4 musical elements, and let's find out what are those. Rhythm, Jupal meter. Most Chinese music is in Jupal rhythm. This fondness for Jupal rhythm, the Western equivalent of 2/4 and 4/4, can be attributed to the belief in the principle of natural duality, such as the female-male or yin-yang relationship. Texture, vocal, monophonic, instrumental, heterophonic. The texture of Chinese music is often monophonic, where only one instrument is playing, or heterophonic. A heterophonic texture is one where a core melody is simultaneously played with decorated versions of the same melody.
Timbre, high-pitched, nasal. Timbre in Chinese music has a deeper meaning than simply tone color as an end in itself. Chinese vocal quality is often described as being high-pitched and nasal. This is generally true, but there are regional differences.
Melody. Pentatonic scale. The tonality of Chinese music is pentatonic. This means it uses a scale of 5 notes for melodies. Harmonies are also created with this structure. Sometimes Chinese music also have pentatonic using a 7-tone scale, which is an extension of the pentatonic structure.
What is their tonal system has particular use used for teaching, in giving guidelines for behavior in society, and in giving power to the government. Most importantly, music is used to arrive at agreement and cooperation in society.
Chinese tonal system is based on the Linglun Chinese legend. The most famous legend concerning the origin of Chinese music says that around 2697 BC,
Emperor Wangti sent certain Linglun to the mountains to oot some bamboo pipe that will give a definite tone which will be the basis of music and harmony in the governing kingdom. From the pipes, the fundamental pitches will be derived and now called the Lu system.
Traditional Chinese music uses 5-tone scale called Wushang, and the remaining tone are used through changing tones or pian.
The 5 chord tones of Chinese scales are sometimes connected with the 5 elements, or wuxing: earth, wood, metal, fire, and water, while the 12 pitches of the tonal system are connected by some writers with the months of the year, hours of the day, or phases of the moon. A 12-tone musical system was created based on the pitches of the bamboo pipes. The first of these pipes produced the yellow bell pitch, and the set of tuned bells were then created from the pipes.
The Chinese system concentrates in a similar way on a 7-tone scale, but with a 5-tone core, wusheng, plus 2 changing bian tones to accommodate transpositions of a single mode to different pitch levels as well as modulations from one mode to another.
Since we are done knowing their musical element, let's learn their 5 elements. Different to Western music, ancient Chinese music consists of only 5 tones, which are called gong, shang, zhao, shi, and yu, roughly matching with the tones of do, re, mi, so, and la. The ancient Chinese believed that these 5 notes were connected with the 5 elements of nature, such as metal, wood, water, fire, and earth. According to the traditional Chinese book, The Yellow Emperors, the classic of medicine, the 5 elements in nature also represent 5 main organs of the human body: the heart, liver, spleen, lung, and kidney.
For example, the jiao tone corresponds to the wood element, influence the liver and help relieve depression due its spring-like sounds. The Z tone belongs to the fire element, and it helps nourish the heart and invigorate the blood flow.
Thus, a good combination of the notes can help balance the yin and yang and maintain the human body in a state of equilibrium and good health.
If you are a wood personality, you may be someone who is athletic, energetic, and adventurous. The body type of a wood personality is generally well-muscled. Wood personalities tend to be anxious and angry. Wood personalities may suffer from orthopedic issues, TM, migraines, or AD.
A fire personality consists of someone who is passionate, creative, authoritative. Their body structure may be round in the middle with a pointy top.
Fire personalities tend to be impulsive and irritable. Fire personalities may suffer from insomnia, high blood pressure, chest pain, or headache.
An earth personality is someone who is nurturing, generous, and caregiving. Their body structure may be round and fleshy.
Earth personalities tend to be worrisome and pensive. Earth personalities may suffer from abdominal issues or hormonal problems.
A metal personality is someone who is meticulous, honest, and responsible. Their body structure may be somewhat angular and tall.
Metal personalities tend to be melancholic. Metal personalities may suffer from constipation, lung and skin issues, or allergies.
Water personalities are old souls. They are wise, reflective, and private. Their body structure may be fluffy and round. Water personalities tend to be indecisive, fearful, and paranoid. Water personalities may suffer from back pain, knee pain, and kidney and bladder infections.
Organs, liver and gallbladder. Season, spring. Weather, wind. Direction, east. Emotion, anger. Color, blue and green. Taste, sour. Sound, shouting. Sense, organ, eye. Sensation, vision. Body tissue, tendons, sinews.
Organs, heart and small intestine. Season, summer. Weather, heat. Direction, south. Emotion, joy. Color, red. Taste, bitter and burned. Sound, laughing. Sense organ, tongue. Sensation, taste. Body tissue, vessels.
Organ, spleen and stomach. Season, late, summer, harvest. Weather, damp. Direction, center. Emotion, worry. Color, yellow. Taste, sweet. Sound, singing. Sense organ, mouth and lips. Sensation, touch. Body tissue, muscles and flesh.
Organ, lung, large intestine. Season, autumn. Weather, dry. Direction, west. Emotion, grief. Color, white. Taste, spicy. Sound, weeping. Sense organ, nose. Sensation, smell. Body tissue, skin.
Organ, kidney and bladder. Season, winter. Weather, cold. Direction, north. Emotion, fear. Color, black and dark blue. Taste, salty. Sound, groaning. Sense organ, ear. Sensation, hearing and balance. Body tissue, bone and marrow.
Here is their Chinese scale. Page 16. Kung, note correspond to the emperor, the ruler, or the chief.
Shang, note corresponds to the minister.
Shayo, note is related to the people.
Qi, note represent the affair to the state.
Yu, note represent material objects.
Now the Yayu. The Yayu is part of their vocal music, so let's find out what it is. The music played in the royal court to entertain the emperor 2000 called Yayu.
Yaiwei, which literally means elegant music, is a form of Chinese classical music, which incorporates elements of early Chinese folk music and religious traditions. Every dynasty tried to retain its ancient style.
Yaiwei was a form of classical music and dance performed at the royal court and temples in ancient China. The basic conventions of Yaiwei were established in the Western Zoo, together with law and rites. It formed the formal representation of aristocratic political power. The word Ya was used during the Chu dynasty to refer to a form of song text used in court and collected in Shijing. The term Yaiwei itself appeared in Confucius Analects, where Yaiwei was considered by Confucius to be the kind of music that is good and beneficial, in contrast to the popular music originated from the state of Zheng, which he judged to be decadent and corrupting.
Yayu is therefore regarded in the Confucian system as the proper form of music that is refined, improving, and essential for self-cultivation, and one that can symbolize good and stable governance.
It means the kind of solemn ceremonial music used in court, as well as ritual music in temples, including those used in Confucian rites. In a broader sense, Yayu can also mean a form of Chinese music that is distinguishable from the popular form of music termed Suyue, or uncultivated music, and can therefore also include music of the literati such as Qin music.
The court Yaiwei has largely disappeared from China, although there are modern attempts at its reconstruction. And there are the two types of Yaiwu. Use 1, chime music, is a group of instruments which were played in front of the garden accompanied by two dances, the Wenwu civil dance and the Wuwu military dance.
Tanako, chamber song, played or performed inside the hall that were used to pay tribute to the emperor and his ancestor.
Yaiwei has a rigid form and should be stately and formal when performed. It is also sometimes accompanied by lyrics. Some of these are preserved in Book of Songs.
Now, do you know what Moliwa is? Moliwa is one of the traditional vocal music of China. Let's move on.
Molihua. Molihua is a Chinese folk song from the Jingnan region. The song dates back to 18th century. Over time, many regional variations were created, and the song gained popularity both in China and abroad.
A traditional Chinese song with a beautifully gentle and lyrical melody.
The lyric about the jasmine flower also turned into love song. The song described a custom of giving jasmine flowers, popular in the Yangtze Delta region on China.
Jasmine flower is a genus of shrubs and vines in the olive family. It originates from the Himalayas and the moderate regions of China. It can be planted in sandy loamy soil. Its name is derived from the Arabic word jasmine, which means fragrant flower.
It has a white, yellow, and occasionally red and pink appearance and has star-shaped flowers. It has rich, sweet, and fruity and sensual scent. Jasmine flowers can be used to improve mood, add flavor to food and drinks, add fragrance to products, and use it make medicine.
The folk song was so well known that the jasmine flower became the provincial flower of Jiangsu in 2007. However, the jasmine flower was now mostly planted in Hengxian country in South China's Guangxi, Sichuan Autonomous Region.
Native to Bhutan in the eastern Himalayas, the flower was cultivated in southwest China's Sichuan province since the Song dynasty, or AD 960 to 1279.
But it doesn't end there. because we have prepared a cover of Moliwa by Nayumi and Cacharel, and we also prepared an interpretive dance.
And before we end this presentation, we prepared a short quiz for us all.